I'll start recording and then do all this stuff.
Mhm.
Hi, welcome to What About Indie Games. Today we're doing a bit of a special. It's about when you're going to a convention, all those kind of things, and what indie game people expect, what journalists expect, or like where it all kind of fits into the world of everything. And I'm talking to the world's greatest journalist. Renee, how are you today?
Not the world's greatest. I'm so great that you can hear my dog raiding the biscuit container in the background. She's just bonking it everywhere.
It's
That's the noise you can hear. She's
I don't think anyone else can hear it except for you, but that's fine.
Discord says it's picking it up, so you're probably going to go through the recording and be like, "What is that
What?
weird noise in the background?" And it's the dog just going, "There's crumbs in here somewhere. I'm going to get them." Yeah, this was actually my idea because had I've been to every single
Mm.
PAX, and indies have been absolutely one of my favorite things. Every PAX, I would always go around, and that was always like my number one thing. But I've seen things from my perspective that I think indies need to know about. So I thought that perhaps doing this might help indies who are going to something like PAX Australia for the first time, which is in less than a month, or will just be in a month's time. Um, because yeah, it just there have been things that I've noticed over the years, and I'm want to try and help out, sort of thing.
And I'll tell you from the other point of view because I'm filling out like a shit ton of forms at the moment and trying to get organized for I've got 4 conventions coming up in the space of 4 weeks. It's going to be a very busy time for me. So
There's
yeah,
PAX
I kind of know.
Singapore.
Yeah,
Are you doing South by Southwest as well?
no, that's the same time as Singapore. I'm doing Hobart, Tassie's first game convention. And
Oh
then the
yes.
other one is like the prelude to PAX, so it's GE Cap. I've got my
Oh yep, yep, yep.
game in that.
The Game Developers Conference Asia Pacific or something,
Yeah. And also yeah, so that I've got all these forms and
which
things
is
that
during Melbourne International Games Week as well,
yeah.
just to make everything so confusing.
Yeah. So basically I'm not going to sleep for the next 8 weeks. It's fine. And I even put myself in to do some panels and all those kind of things too, just to make my life even more fun. But yeah, I'm doing a talk at
Which reminds me,
Gamescom. So
I was going to say, Ant will be on my panel. I've never been on a panel before, and I decided why not host one. Smartest of my ideas, absolutely. But it's called What's That Mobile Game? And essentially, I'm going to play trailers for mobile games and then make my panelists figure out what the game is actually about.
mhm.
And that will be at the Fruit Bat Theatre on the 11th of October at 11 o'clock.
11:11.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to remember. I
Yeah,
think
I
if they
thought it
hadn't
was
done
on
that, I
at
would just be like,
10 for ages and I'm like, "Oh, it's actually 11." Whew, okay. Also, do you everything you go on, does it start with what? Like what the mobile game? What about
no,
indie
no,
game?
I'm on Pixelcast. That's not called
What
What
the
About
pixel? What
Pixelcast?
about the pixel cast?
Um, oh, have I been on anything else?
I, I don't
I
know.
don't think I've been on anything else indie yet. I was going to say my Switch Approved videos, none of those have What About Splatoon or anything like that. So,
No, next time. I want you to join one more thing that's what something. Anyway, let's get cracking into this. What have you like? Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with how do you apply for these type of things? Are we going to start at the very, very start, or are we just going to start on what's wrong with your indie booth?
well, I with the things I was going to talk about, Indie Booth was definitely one of the highest.
Yeah.
And I think that the main reason is that it's very hard for indie developers to look at their booths and go, they I mean, it's not just a PAX problem. PAX doesn't give indie games a lot of room. They essentially have room for two computers, maybe an extra screen, or if you've got a mobile game, maybe 3 or 4 mobile phones if you're lucky.
Mm.
Because they're in a semicircle, it makes it really hard. So set dressing to kind of draw people in is really important. And it's something that I know that a lot of indie developers go, oh, the cost of that's so expensive, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I would let me start then, is the
Mm-hmm.
signage. I think it's due actually today or tomorrow. No, it was actually due last week. So this is no good to anyone except for next year and the year after. But the signage is really confusing for indie birds because they give us the opportunity at PAX to do a sign, and it's a sign split into two parts. It's a left and a right hand side. So it's essentially two signs. And so many indies go, it looks kind of gross if I put my game name across the whole sign, because there's going to be like this bleed and this whole like frame that goes in the middle of the signs. Even though the signs are right next to each other, there's this thing. All I'd say is don't worry about that. There's so many games you'll see this PAX that are all on one side because it just looks, I don't know, it mentally makes it hard to like physically put it across the whole thing. But it looks so much better when you have this big name that goes across the top of the two signs, and it's so easy for everyone to see. So if you're going to the thing, kind of don't worry about these little edges and that. You don't even notice them once you get to the event. They're just something that
The whole
just
point of the
disappears.
bleed is to, in case of mistakes, they remove most of that anyway. Because
But
I've done a little bit of graphic design, so I know that the bleed edges are literally just the leftover. The thing is that you don't want to end up with the don't dead open inside thing, which is what happened in The Walking Dead. I think if you, as you were saying, having a name that goes across the sign looks so much better than having it all in one space, unless your game specifically that works for it.
yeah, but I've just seen so many, and you'll see a ton of them. I know other people that have just done it on one half because they're like, I don't want to. I don't like the idea of
Mm.
splitting my name up. I actually made our name Light Hazelwood, and I've kind of rearranged the letters a little bit different, just so they go right across the whole banner. But I mean, yeah, if you're gonna write other things underneath that, like I don't know, you might have a QR code, or you might have like a little bit of information about the game. Put that on one side, a sign more so than the other side. But yeah, it's just the
Even
way it's
better, I'd
done.
say put the QR code on both sides.
Oh, but I only put it on one side. I'm taking bad advice for myself. Um, yeah,
The only reason I'm saying that is because if you have more than one person that wants to find out more information about the game, you're going to end up with people crowded around the one spot. Whereas
yeah,
if you have it on both sides, they'll there's two people that can access it at a time rather than everyone trying to, because the booths are not big.
no.
No, you don't have a lot of space.
Put the name and all that up really high too. The name, the QR code, everything up, and also
Well, QR code lower because people need to put their phones up against it.
they can get it from a mile away. I just put this huge QR code. It's just the name of the game, huge QR code. People can get it from the other side of the room. It's like they're wish listing the game from everywhere.
I'm going to try that now. I'm going to see if I can wish list your game from across the room.
Okay, I would be impressed. Um, the the other thing is with the sign is literally do not worry about the bottom eighth, because you're gonna have monitors and all this other kind of stuff in front
Yeah,
of that,
and they will block it.
and it just blocks it. And the amount of people that put all this artwork into the bottom part of their sign, I'm just like, why did you bother with that? You've just put a color there, whatever. Yeah, make the signs not very crowded either. So that's the artwork kind of covered, I think.
Yeah, you kind of want something that catches people's eye from a distance. And that's the good thing about PAX is that you don't have to worry about that sort of thing really, because they take care of the the cost of it.
Mm.
But when I went to the game expo, the booths were the rectangular ones, and you could definitely tell who had put thought into their booth and who hadn't.
Oh, well, let me just tell you about that. Okay, well, let's
Mm.
just talk about that for 5 seconds.
All right.
They told us, they said, here's the booth sizes. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. And then we get there and they're like, oh, we upgraded you to a slightly bigger booth and it's nowhere near the sizes that we had. So we had like I would have bought like this massive sign if I knew that we had this bigger booth. And all of a sudden we like the signs didn't suit the size of the booth and all this. Oh man, I think that's okay. That rolls into point number 2. Don't be upset.
But I wasn't talking about your booth specifically. I didn't
Oh no
really
no no
find that many
no
issues with your booth.
no! But
There was
I was more talking about
the,
like they give you the
yeah.
size and then all of a sudden they change it at the last minute and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Why did you do that to me? You've ruined my day. But yeah, don't be disappointed.
Yeah. I think that because there was one that I'd seen and the sign was literally an A4 sheet of paper and that was it. The rest of it was just blank. And it was like, "Oh, that's really that looks really not great."
Did they get their
You
kids
know.
to draw on the paper or like did like,
No, it was like the key art printed out but just on a piece of A4 paper.
mm,
And like I know signage costs a lot of money. I am
mm,
aware that signage costs heaps of money. But when your booth looks very, very empty, it is like people are not enticed to come over.
yeah, that's true. No, I saw that. Well, I guess there's another point in that the booths cost a lot of money,
Mm.
but you need to spend more than just that money. Like you're going to probably buy a monitor or a laptop or all these things to help you go to these conventions. You don't just turn up there. You're going to maybe have to buy signage. You might have to buy all these different other things that we'll probably get more in depth into as we talk about this. But it's it's not just the like $2,000 that PAX costs or whatever it is to get there.
And at
It's
least PAX does the signage for you.
yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, you've got all these other costs that come on top of that. Like everything costs money, and yeah, you basically can't just walk in on the PAX will do everything or they'll do everything. It doesn't work like that. So,
They essentially give you the space, do the signage, and go for your life.
yeah. Oh, I
So the
yeah, go.
common setup at PAX
Yeah.
is generally two computers and a monitor.
Hmm.
So people who are waiting to play the game are able to see what the game looks like as it's being played. It generally just runs trailers on a cycle. You probably want the monitor that's playing that up higher than the monitors that people are playing at so that more people can actually see the game. Because if you have them down too low, the minute one person stands in front of it and then another two people stand next to them, anyone else behind them can't see what's happening. You want to try and make use of that vertical space.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, you want your booth to be busy. You want you want to have people kind of stuck around there. So the bigger the crowd and the people trying to get to see stuff, it kind of draws more people to you. If you got no one at your booth, you'll get like the people that like indie games and they'll come over and go, oh, what's this? But as soon as we had like one person at our booth, all of a sudden we had like 14 people at our booths, and so you'd always try to keep people staying around looking at stuff. And
Oh
so,
yeah, no,
yeah,
that's not that's
it's
what
a
I mean. Like when you've got a lot of people, you want those people to be able to see what's happening while the others are playing. Because otherwise they're going to get bored if they can't see anything and they're just going to wander off.
that's a good point. Um, what else did we? What else has bothered you about these PAX applicants so far? Yeah, I know.
I was going to say with the booth, still on the booth again. Um, I know that some people use lollies to try and attract people to their booth. which isn't a bad thing. It's just if you are doing that, maybe let people know if the lollies are made of wheat or if the lollies are made of corn, because some people have wheat allergies and some people have corn allergies.
I'm not
So
doing
just
lollies.
yeah, like that's too hard.
Mm. Uh,
Um,
Do you like a
I was going to say the
tablecloth
other
on the
thing.
booth? Because I'm always petrified to put a tablecloth on, that someone's going to just like drag the tablecloth and all of a sudden two monitors and a whole heap of stuff is on the ground. Like, are you a tablecloth kind of person?
I like set dressing on the booths.
Mm.
So, like, I don't know if you saw the Draculesti booth by Fine Feathered Fiends
Hmm.
at PAX. They had their little, so they had like a few tablecloths. I think they had fake candelabras, and they also had a coffin-shaped letter thing sign that said, "Gay Dracula, need we say more?" Now, apparently, that sign cost them $60, but it attracted so much attention that it was the best $60 they ever spent.
I was next to them at
And
the
it's
games thing, and they were nice people. Anyway,
yeah, they are
yeah,
lovely people. But
yeah.
yeah, it's that sort of thing. Like you just if you can just put something that will attract attention, that's what you want. Whether you do it with lollies, you do it with stickers or something like that. The other thing is that I wanted to talk about is, which is kind of similar, is cards. So most people at a convention will give out cards.
Well, okay. To be fair, first time I went to PAX, I gave out nothing. I gave it no cards. Like, and the amount of people that come up and ask you, "Do you have a card?" is like way more than you expect. So if you buy nothing else, if you buy in nothing else, definitely buy cards, because some people just. I didn't realize that, like, I'm such a digital person. I always just assume that you pull out your phone, you QR code it, you go and do something else. But I didn't realize that having like a gazillion phones in a convention center like that makes it actually hard for the phones to work there. And that's where the cards come into play, because a lot of these conventions you go there and things aren't like don't work like they do at home or like anywhere else. And like you have
Not
to go
just
back to the
that,
old paper
having a
stuff.
physical reminder they can hold in their hands,
Mm.
they'll look at it and be like, "Ah, yes, I'll go check that out now that I've remembered that this is here." I still have stuff from PAX last year.
Mm.
Sorry, I looked down because I've actually got this is my folder with stuff from PAX from last year.
The dungeon experience.
Yep. So I have a variety of things just from last year. So I've got Servernauts, which are
Yeah.
coming back again this year. Detective Riddell, which I really enjoyed and never got around to buying. Ascending Inferno. Like
Yeah.
it's just I just realized, I keep looking at the bottom screen, which shows a lot more. But
Okay.
the thing is that um when people go, the thing is with PAX being only 3 days, people only have a limited amount of time. Some people are only there for one day. So you want to have something physical that when you go home, it reminds people of your game. You want it to bring it back into the forefront of their mind.
Hmm.
One of the best ways to do this is to have cards, but you want to also s- spend the extra money to make them good quality cards.
Mm.
Because the thing is that when you get so many cards or pamphlets and things like that, they all kind of mesh into each other. I cannot tell you who's given me cards over the 10 years, 11 years that I've been going to PAX. I can tell you that I've received one magnet, I've received one poster, and I also received one wooden golf set.
Wooden golf set. What game was that for? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that for?
Up to par.
Oh, and they gave out golf sets. That is
It
super
was just
cool.
it was just a little tiny wooden thing, and it just had a little hole, and the wooden golf ball would fall into the hole. It was just small, but it was like,
That's super cool.
yeah.
Mm.
But the thing is that you're always going to remember that. Red Echo gave me a carabiner, and I was like, oh, I can always use a carabiner. They're always useful. it, and if you want to stand out, go the extra mile. Get the fancy metallic ink or get the shiny stickers.
I love shiny stickers. The
Yeah,
amount of
Ant
shiny
knows
stick.
exactly what I'm on
I
about.
love shiny stick. I get shiny stickers for everything. And you know the amount of people that I've gone, hey, would you like a sticker? And they go, oh, I'm not sure. I go, and then I just go, they're shiny, and they're like, oh, I love shiny. Like as soon as it's shiny, people are in.
Yeah, don't do what one of the New Zealand companies did last year, where they had a competition to take a photo of the sticker. If you took a photo of the sticker in the weirdest possible place, you had a chance to win the game, a
Uh,
copy of the game, and that ended up with lots of stickers in the bathroom,
There's
which
a lot of toilet. I
MCC was
was wondering why
not
there was
happy about that.
every time I'd go to like the toilet, there was a sticker on the toilet lid. And I'm like, this is weird. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, the Melbourne Exhibition Convention Centre was not happy about it,
Yeah, right.
so they
Mm,
have told people a little less stickers this year. But as
mm.
long as you're not, as long as you're not doing a competition like that that doesn't encourage people to stick stickers in public places
Yeah.
on property that does not belong to them, you're fine.
Yeah. Well, that's like, because I wanted to go around sticking QR codes everywhere, but I was like, but then that's just leading people straight back to my game. Not the smartest idea that I've ever had. Like, like you've got to kind of get smarter than that. So.
Mm. And like, who's gonna? I feel like most people would see a QR code on something like a light post and just go, "I don't trust that."
Well, apparently not. Like I talked to some people and they're like, "Oh, I always scan them to see where they take me," and I'm like, "Why? Why do you not care for viruses? Like, where are you born? Like, what century are you? Like, like that's not where I would go." But yeah,
Yeah,
apparently it's a
yeah. I'm like,
thing.
no,
And yeah,
no.
yeah. So,
I mean, it's different if you're giving out stickers of your own of a QR codes for your game so that people can go back to it later. That's a bit different.
mm. So, well, I think that stickers and all that are really good, and definitely go for the pamphlet if you don't do anything. I thought pamphlets was such a dumb idea, but they're so very important, more important than you'll ever imagine.
See, I would say cards are better than pamphlets
I
because I
think
find the
cards.
pamphlets because I think cards are a premium product in comparison to the pamphlets because with the pamphlets, a lot of the time you'll just
What
fold
do
them
you
up
what
and
do you
forget
mean
about
by
them.
what do you mean by a card? Like an A3?
No, not an A3. Sorry, I'll
Okay,
just
okay, okay.
go through this real quick and see. So
Are
when
you
I
talking
say a
about
card,
like a
I
business
mean
card? Yeah, I see. I think that's yeah. Okay, so you prefer that one than the bigger one.
and part of the reason is because when they're bigger, like, well, these ones aren't too bad, but some of them,
I think the A3 is a
like,
nice size, personally.
some of them. Oh, speaking of, here's Draculesti.
Yeah, I don't mind that
But
size.
but the thing is that it's very easy to just go and then forget about it.
Yeah, but the little ones are really easy to lose.
That's why you have a folder for them. But um, I just think that because you can't really fold the cards, I think that they're a better product.
Mm,
There could just be a difference in opinion there,
yeah.
though.
I feel like choose which one you like and make them. Just
Mm.
definitely make some
Please
because
don't me an A4 piece of paper and expect me to want to keep that.
I'm I'm gonna give you a what's the bigger one than that? Is that A3?
A0.
I'll give you this huge one, like, and you'd be like,
Dan's just going to bring in a sign
yeah,
and be like, this is just for you.
yeah, and you'd be like, that's so not doing this. Well, apparently you can't fold paper 7 times, so as long as they make it the seventh one has got like another print on it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you can't fold it more than 7 times because it gets so thick you can't actually fold it again.
So I'll just like on the seventh fold, you'll just see another little thing that says the game. Yeah.
You're just going to make it into a puzzle for me. You love puzzles so much, you're
hmm
going to start making puzzles.
Puzzle puzzle folding. Um, so so we got like we're talking about a little bit of merch. You've got a bit of merch. Um, Demos. Let's talk about demos. What do you expect from a demo at PAX? What do you like from a demo at PAX?
I tend to break them.
Yeah, I hate you.
I just seem to be very good at finding bugs when I play them. And it's not just indies I've managed to break. I remember I played a 3D Castlevania game and I managed to break that, and the guy from Japan was over. And it's just like, I've broken it, and you guys aren't even like, this was when I was volunteering as well. But no, I think as long as the gameplay is showcased, that's the most important thing, is that you
How
want people to
long
get a
should it
taste.
be?
Yeah, see, that's hard because the thing is, you want it to be short enough that people can
Move
get
on
enough of the experience,
and move on.
but that they're not there all, yeah, they're not there
Mm,
all day.
yeah, this is.
So I think probably about, oh, see, the thing is, it also depends on the game. So, for example, a multiplayer game, you'd be good for 5-10 minutes.
Mm,
People get a feel of the game; they'll know what it is. Whereas if you've got something that's narrative driven, a lot of the time it's going to be a lot harder. Like maybe, 15 minutes, possibly half an hour. It depends on how much there is to the game and stuff. It's finding that sweet spot for the demo isn't going to be a tried and true formula. It's going to be something that you find for the game. It's going to be on a game by game basis.
I know it's really hard. We took a 20-minute demo to PAX last year, and in hindsight, I wish it was shorter because like
Mm.
people would play that whole 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my
Yep.
god, why can't you just? And like it wasn't like just one person; it was like every single person was playing 20 minutes through. And so that
Yeah.
like you do the math on that, and then all of a sudden you can only have if you got two PCs running this 20-minute demo,
Yeah.
out of a like 8 hour day, you can only have like 50 people. I can't remember the exact maths, but you can't have like a whole hundreds of people playing it. But at the same
Yeah.
time,
And that's it.
while you had those people both playing for a fair bit of time, you'd have other people that are just pulling behind them and watch them play for a section and go, "Oh, I like the looks of this. Yeah, okay, I'll wish list it," and then they'll move on. So it's kind of a double edged sword, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. It's about, the thing is, if you didn't have enough to kind of grab the person, they obviously like the game enough that they're playing the full 20 minutes.
Mm.
And that's the thing, like if they were just playing for 5 minutes and they were leaving, you would know that they weren't interested, or they're like me and have a lot to do.
That you weren't
But
interested in my game.
I am interested in your
No,
game. I just
just shit stir.
did not have enough time last year. Did you see me running around like a headless chook, spieling and pissing off and spieling and pissing off? Because that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was going to indies. You give me a spiel, I'll give you a spiel. Here's a
Yeah.
card. Okay, I'll chat to you later.
Yeah. It- it's a
It was a ridiculous.
Well,
Can't
I
remember how many
think
videos I
that
ended up
that's a
making in the
good
end.
point actually you bring up is the spiel. Get ready for people to know what you want to say to people. Because people are going to turn up at your booth and you're going to be like, yeah, we got this game. I'm like practice it a few times. Like this is the main reason we're going down to Hobart to do it to start this little run. Is that it's going to be a real small convention. We can go around, get our spiels down pat. We can get all our like demos, make sure they're working, all that kind of stuff. Then we go to the bigger expos and we're good to go. We're like turning up there going, hey, we know all this shit. Like you guys are good.
I just want to say, make sure that everyone who's helping, whether they are
Mm,
a person working on the team or not, knows basics.
mm-hmm.
So if as long as they know the basics of the gameplay, the basics of the story, generally what console it's on, and what year it's possibly releasing, because obviously release dates are very fluid. But just because people, it's different if they're asking really specific questions like what engine is this running on, how long did it take to make it, and stuff like that.
I hate those people. No, okay. If you're another indie dev, it's lovely to come up and talk to all the devs, but nothing gets rid of actual people that want to play your game. It is more than an indie dev standing there talking to you for an hour about how that you make the game and all this stuff. No, like gamers don't care for that so much. It's like there's two different crowds, and you kind of like kill. And the worst part is that the indie devs that are talking to you for like an hour are probably not going to go and buy your game. They just want to find out so they can make their own game. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of meh. I don't know. It can be annoying. But at the same
I
time,
mean, like, why would,
I love the indie devs and I love being
yeah,
part
yeah,
of that community. But so I can talk to them for hours. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want
tax
to
is not the
talk to
time
you.
and place.
Yeah, I don't take this. Talk to me on Discord, and we can talk for another 6 days about this stuff. It's all good,
Mm.
you know.
Because a lot of the time I feel like I have come up to people that are indie devs and they've been like, so this is a game about a boy named Mason and the world isn't right. But, and then, and the thing is, they obviously haven't, they're very passionate about their game, but they haven't thought about how to speak about it.
Hmm.
And if you have someone on your team that is decent at writing, get them to write the spiel, practice the spiel. It doesn't matter if it sounds repetitive and almost emotionless because the
I
passion will
say
come
it
through anyway.
over and over and over
Mm.
again. Like I said it for, and the worst part is the worst part about PAX is with the spiel. All the journalists come up and see you Friday morning, and you'll got the spiel down pat by Sunday afternoon. But Friday morning, you're just going, oh, it's a game, it's a puzzle game, it's kind of fun, whatever. And you trying to think of how to sell, like do this. If you haven't done the spiel thing before, you haven't got any idea what you're saying kind of at the start until at the end of the expedition or the expo, you're like really good at this kind of stuff. But at the
Mm.
start, all the journalists come up and you're like, oh, can you come back on Sunday afternoon when I know what I'm saying? But they don't. They never do. But yeah,
Got it. Never visit you on the Friday morning.
thank you. It's really like no, I'll be perfect this year because we've got a little expo to start us off. We'll have the spiel all sorted.
I think when I was the first year that I started, I did PAX and I actually went to the media hour. The first thing I did was like, yeah, just tell me about your game
Hmm.
and I'll watch. I'm like, I'll watch you play the game. Just tell me a little bit about it. And I ended up spending an hour with that indie dev. The
Yeah.
hour went so quick
Hmm.
because, and that's the thing, like, it's just, it's all right if you're talking to the person who knows he was a solo dev, so he was the only one working on it. So it wasn't like he had other people. But then if you talk to bigger companies, like when I was talking to League of Geeks, I would speak to one person and they'd look at me blankly and go, let me ask the person who's in charge of that. It's just kind of
It's
it.
really that's really annoying because
Mm.
as a consumer or a gamer, you don't want to go like if you don't know why are you at this booth, like I don't want to wait for you to ask that person who's in a conversation with someone else to get back to me 5 minutes later. I'm out of there if you do that to me.
Yeah, essentially that someone was like, I am the programmer. I know nothing. Let me pass you on to someone who will understand more about the social media side of things. And it's like, I just wanted to know about the game.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Even if people who aren't involved with the game are helping you out, make sure they know the spiel. Make sure they know at least the story, the gameplay, the consoles, because you will get people who will say, is it coming to a console? And then that person will have to go and ask you
Mm.
if you're the main dev. And it's going to end up with you'll constantly be answering questions from the people that are supposed to be helping you because they don't know the answers to those questions. And it's going to make it take even longer.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Uh, just just get talking about your game. Go try and even if you don't have a little convention to go to first and you're doing a big convention, like try and imagine that it's your friends or your family, get them
Yeah,
to
just
come
do it in
up.
front of your friends
Yeah.
or family,
Yeah.
anyone. Just
Here's my
if
crappy
you
game. Play it.
write it
Like it.
beforehand,
Yeah.
it's not gonna it's sounds like a hassle and everyone's like, oh, I can just do it on the fly. But it sounds so much better when you've got someone who actually they have everything kind of memorized sort of thing. So when they're actually talking about it, you can kind of get more of the passion of what they're actually talking about as opposed to, uh, um, you know, they can be more engaged with you, the person that you're talking to, because you are more present rather than
Oh,
trying to think off the top of your head
I
what you're
was
going to talk about.
oh at last PAX 2, I was so sick. Like I was like feeling really sick in the stomach, and these people coming up asking me like lots of questions. I'm like, I can't talk properly. Try not to get sick. That's my thing with with
The thing is that even not sick, you can still end up in a lot of pain because I ended up with, I was standing awkwardly by the I think by lunchtime Friday, I actually had to go and sit down because my back was spasming and every time I tried to walk, I was in pain. So wear
but
comfy shoes.
yeah, wear comfy shoes. And with the spiel thing, take some throat lozenges as well because you're talking so much. You've never talked this much in your life at these conventions. You just, I mean,
Throat
I can talk
lozenges, water,
underwater. Yeah, all those type of things. Just yeah,
Powerade if you tend to dehydrate very easily. Take snacks as well
yeah.
because sometimes you'll be stuck at your booth.
We're lucky. We've got like kind of three very different personalities in my team. We've got like me, he's kind of, I guess I'm kind of like the leading kind of guy. Then we've got like the music guy, and he's like the mummy bear, and he makes sure that we've all he makes sure we've all had enough to eat, we've had enough water, and he always keeps reminding us about food. And then we've got the younger kid that he's kind of like, hey mate, I don't care, let's just do whatever, and he's just like go with the flow. So having like three different type of kind of things works really well. I guess having like pick people at your booth. If you're going to choose some people to come at your booth, make sure that they're kind of, if you can get more out, if you're a quiet person, try and get someone that's louder than you or more, like talkative than you, and give them the spiel because that can help too. Just saying. Why are you laughing at me? What did I do?
Sorry. No, I'm laughing at the dog. The dog's woofing.
Oh, I can't
She
even hear it.
she's probably heard something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's obviously heard something and now she's woofing. No, she used to be such a quiet dog once upon a time. She's definitely coming into her own now. She's
You
very
feed
noisy.
you feed them, and they just stay. They keep coming back.
It's not that she's finally getting some confidence and she sees this house as her house. So when she hears weird stuff, she's like, "What's that? I'm gonna yell at it."
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all
But if you're
good.
going to get someone who's louder than you, as long as they know what they're talking about, and again, that comes back to the spiel. Another thing would be to, and this is probably more the dev side than my side, and it's have backups.
Backups.
Have
Um.
backups. So,
Yeah, I never do that because I'm just like a machine that just stands there all day, and like I'm
oh, I
just
meant more like have technology fails, yeah?
yeah, yeah.
So you want to kind of have a backup plan. You may not use that backup plan, but you want to at least have it.
I think.
And if you,
Did you hear about
I was going to,
last year with our game?
no.
It was running fine. Everything was great. We got to the packs, and all of a sudden, when you restarted the game, the frame rate would drop dramatically because it wouldn't unload the previous
The
builds.
previous game.
Yeah, so every time you restarted the game, it would put a build on top of a build on top of a build. So after you like I don't know, a couple of hours in, it was down to like the worst frame rate. It was horrendous. Um, and all you can do is like cry in those moments and then pick yourself up and keep going. And people like the game anyway. But yeah, our backup plan in that
Sorry, hate
situation
people.
was that every hour we'd shut the game down and reload it up, and it wasn't too bad.
Hmm.
So,
And that's the thing. You can't always prepare for everything, but you want to
mm,
try and be as prepared as possible. Because I remember I actually went up to devs on the Sunday and I was like, "Yeah, can you tell me about your game?" And they're like, "Our demo is broken, so we're just sitting here doing nothing." And it's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
well, even having a backup so far as the trailer and just play that on repeat on your PC, and go, look, the demo's broken, but we've got the trailer here. You can just watch this go. And
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, shit happens, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most people who go to PAX are gonna be understanding of that sort of thing. So if as long as you've got something that you can show people, that's better than nothing.
I mean, you've just spent a couple of grand on this
Hmm.
booth and you're just going to sit around and, another thing is if you choose to bring people with you, make sure they're reliable. The example of this is one of the guys in the booth near us. He brought his brother with him. His brother, he was the dev, a solo dev, and he brought his brother with him as help or whatever. His brother
Yeah.
basically got the 3 day pass and was like, "Hey, I've got a 3 day pass to PAX." Got in the door and like, "See ya, I'll see you this afternoon when you're going home," and left this solo dev there for the whole day by himself. It was
Did he have
horrendously.
any food and drink?
Yeah, well, we were looking at. He was like next to us, so we were help. We had Mummy Bear going over and helping him and stuff like that. Like it was
Oh, thank
fine.
goodness,
Yeah,
because the amount of devs that I've encountered that have not realized how busy it's going to be,
mm,
even when there's been three of them, and they've just been like, I haven't been able to leave the booth since, like, I haven't eaten since 7 a.m. and I don't have anything.
mm,
I used to bring muesli bars back when I could have them, 2 packs, and I would usually buy the massive packs. I would buy the biggest packs you could buy, and half the time I would end up giving half of them away to devs who had not eaten on the Friday.
yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, like imagine this dude running off and you don't want people doing that
It's
to you. It's like, oh yeah, I got a free ticket to PAX. You do all the
I'd be
work.
like, you're disowned.
You are not my brother. But yeah. Um Also, okay, I probably shouldn't. I look terrible at the moment. I've just been moving house and whatever. I haven't been looking after myself as nearly as well as I should. But my point is, make yourself presentable to people. Like, do your hair, do your makeup, do whatever you do to yourself to make yourself not, like you're going out somewhere, not like you've just been in the basement coding a game for the last 100 years. You know that I think having some kind of look about you that's it's kind of, yeah, people are like, hey, I want to chat to them.
I'm pretty cool with the casual look. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with that. But then at the same time, there was that girl at the Game Expo that had that purple hair that like went from dark purple to light purple, and her hair was amazing.
And you want to talk to those people. I'm going to have blue hair this year. So, um,
You're gonna look like Nim.
yeah, yeah. So that's my goal. And like, yeah, you just do a little bit of stuff like that. People come up and go, "Well, what's with the hair?" You
Some
know?
people actually cosplay as their own characters from their
Mm.
game. I've seen that a few times. And sometimes you're just like, oh, who are they cosplaying as? And then you see them at the booth and you're like,
I get
that's who
that.
it
I get
is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool too. But yeah. But put
But
a
also, if you have people who are cosplaying, let them have adequate breaks because cosplaying is a massive pain.
mm. Unless it's just
Sorry.
unless you like say I don't know, just a person and you got the same t-shirt on.
Can be hard because if people want to take photos of you and stuff, and you want to eat, a lot of the time they'll actually interrupt you while you're eating and stuff.
Mm.
I used to cosplay back when I was younger, so
I know we want more of that. That's what we want this year at PAX. What Pokemon are you coming as?
You can't spring this on me a month before PAX. I would need an entire year to make a cosplay.
Okay, next year. I'll give you a year and 1 month. There you go.
And what about the money it costs?
You'll make
It's
it
the main
back.
reason I
You'll
had to
make it
give up
back.
on it.
You'll make it back in photos. Just charge people $1 a
Oh,
photo.
wow.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Also, anything that goes over your face is gonna
Ugh.
cause you to sweat.
Yeah. That's gross. Um, and I think so I think we missed one of the most important things about this whole kind of thing is
Mm.
having fun. You, I feel
Yeah,
like the first day that I got there, the first big convention I did, it was more stressful than fun. But then by the end of the convention, I was like, oh, this, I don't care so much. Like when you first get there, you
yeah.
kind of got this like mentality, I need to get 5 billion wish lists or this has been a failure. I feel like by the time you get to the end of the convention, you're just going to be like, I don't really care. Like, whatever. If people wish list it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And it's not so much about the whole that. It's more just having fun and making friends and all that kind of stuff that makes it really worthwhile.
And that's the thing, like from our perspective, the thing is that as journalists, we're actually, well, most of the Aussie game journalists I know are actually pretty easygoing. So if you stuff up, we're just gonna overlook it and pretend it didn't happen because that's not what's important. What's important there is the game. If the game appeals to us, we're gonna be interested.
Yeah, that's true. So that, yeah, but yeah, don't
So don't be
stress.
scared, like press. Most of us are just gonna be pretty chill about it, and we're here because we love games, and you guys love games, and everyone loves games, and that's why we're all here.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone's going to have off days and everyone's going to have, issues and technical problems and stuff. And we completely understand that.
Yeah. So I think yeah, if you do all those things, you'll have fun. It's a great. I think game conventions are really important
Damn hay
for
fever.
yeah. The game
Apologies.
conventions are really important from getting a feedback point of view. Getting it kind of justifies why you spent the last year or two building a game and you get people playing it and then they all of a sudden they're going, hey, your game's like, we really like this, we really love this. Like one of my favorite compliments last year was like, someone played our game for 20 minutes and I said, oh, how did you find the demo? Did you like it? And they're like, it was okay. I said, well, what was wrong with it? And they go, oh, it was really quick, only like 5 minutes. I said, you've been playing for 20 minutes. I go, oh shit. Like I didn't real I like, it was just like one of these beautiful moments, like, like, oh yes. Fit someone. And then they're like, oh, well, then that changes everything. I loved it because it just took my time away
It
without
seems
me.
so quick, yeah.
Yeah. And so they enjoyed
And
it.
that's the thing, like if someone comes up and plays your game and gives you a take, don't take it as a bad thing. It generally means that the person probably likes your game, but they want to see it improved. Like whenever I critique or whenever I review and I critique games, I always, when I say a bad thing, I often try to think, is this a problem that can be solved? Because if it's not, I don't want to just be saying, oh, it's crap, because that's not going to help the person making the game.
No.
If someone comes up to you and says your game is crap and doesn't give you a reason why, then they're not worth worrying about. But
Yeah.
if the person comes up to you and says, I didn't like it because it was a little too hard, you can say to them, well, what would I be able to do to make it easier? Use their opinion to help improve your game. Because the thing is, you can only get so far when you're QAing with the same people over and over. This is a great way to find out if you are going in the correct direction with your game. And if you feel, because you might feel like, yes, this game is perfect, but then another person comes along and plays it and goes, I don't know what I'm doing, because you already know the mechanics of the game. So it'll be like, okay, so maybe I need to put a tutorial here, maybe I need to make it a little more new player friendly. You know, use this as the opportunity that it is.
Well, I also think don't tell people how to play the game. Sit back and watch them play because I learned so much from watching other people play it. I'm like, and if they do something really weird, I go, how come you did that? They go, oh, I thought that's how I was supposed to go. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Like I learn lots of little things like that, why people do things. Like at the moment,
And that's the
uh,
thing. Yeah, people are always going to do things different. And if you tell them how to play the game, they're going to do everything within expected parameters because you've told them what to do.
mhm.
And if that's the case, you would need a tutorial that would do that, that would handhold the entire way. And you probably don't want that. You probably want players to actually explore and do different things and stuff. So, yeah, Ant's got a great suggestion.
Yeah, one of the things that I find really interesting is we've been putting the dog into our game. That's he's like a character that leads you. Where we're trying to make it so he will lead you to go this way or that way or whatever. That's the idea. But the amount of people that go, oh, I don't know if I trust that dog. He's a bit shifty, and then they would go the opposite way, and it's like, okay, so we have to make him less shifty. Like that. That's something
How
that
do you make a dog less shifty? How is the dog shifty?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what.
Obviously, as a dog owner, I'm like,
Yes.
dogs, love them. I'm just
Yeah.
going to follow them everywhere. The dog's
Yeah.
going to walk me off a cliff, and I'll be like, okay, fine.
Let,
Off the cliff I go.
jump. Let's jump. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that actually like think differently like that. And then what I would also say is, if people don't like your game, probably the first question I would ask them was, so what games do you normally play? And if it's nothing like your game, then you can understand why they don't like your game. I don't like your cozy puzzle game because I normally play Call of Duty, and that's
Yeah.
it's like I'm mostly into Fortnite. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're probably not going to like anything in the rest of you in the indie scene. Like you're probably meant to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down that section. So, yeah,
The queue for Nintendo is over there.
yeah, yeah, basically. Or so yeah, you've got to kind
I
of
mean, at least
understand.
they're broadening their horizons.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing. Like,
yeah, but you got to understand what they're coming from to
mm,
this.
mm.
Like it makes no sense. Like I don't like some types of genres of games, and
Oh yeah,
I've
like
played them.
strategy. I'm so bad at strategy, and I think it was the dev from Rogue Nova who was like, "Give it a shot because you'll know more about it and you can write about it better." And I'm like, I don't really like this style of game. I did play it, and it was all right. I didn't love it. I didn't enjoy it because it's not really the sort of game that I normally play. But I went in fully knowing that, and I had been completely open to the dev saying this isn't what I normally play, and it's probably not going to be my thing. I'll give it a shot, but probably not going to be my thing.
Yeah. So, I guess that's where it is.
Yeah, sometimes your games are just not going to gel with certain
Yeah.
people, and it's not a problem with the game, and it's not a problem with the person. It's just they're not suited to each other.
Yeah, 100%. Um,
And it can be really hard when you have so many personal feelings attached to it to not take that as a personal insult. But yeah,
yeah.
try not to.
I Nothing upsets me, so I'm fine with it. We're more like, oh, so you what? Oh, the amount of people that would say to us, Chewie doesn't have a nose. He needs a nose. We're like, like you're most worried about the dog's nose ability to smell. He's got a beard. It's covering his nose. No, no, no. We would like to see like a proper nose on him. We're like, oh, okay, like whatever. Yeah, but we
You give him a nose, and we'll put it in the game.
no, no. I think we are redesigning that at the moment. So he
Yeah,
will
fair enough.
probably have a nose just for all those people that missed out on the nose. Like, but yeah, people are really weird when
All
it
right.
comes to that stuff.
It is. over an hour, or it is an hour or nearly an hour.
Yeah,
I did want to say one more thing, if that's okay.
you can say what you like.
Um, from a journalist point of view, please have a press kit.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say that at the start. Okay, what should be in a press kit? What do you most for in a press kit? Videos or pictures or the writing or a bit of everything?
When I'm doing it, a lot of the time, because I'm making videos, I'll be looking for pictures. Generally, what I mostly look for is key art, pictures, and video.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of press kits, or they'll have either they won't have much video, or they won't have much images, or the images will be ones that you have to download separately. You have to save each one separately rather than being able to download them as a pack.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to download them as a pack is a game changer. Some of them only have videos you can watch and then you can't download them. Like, it's,
Why would you do that? Well,
I don't know.
what is the advantage of that? Like, I'm
Essentially, the way I'd say is that your Steam page is selling the game to consumers.
mm,
Your press kit is selling the game to media and allowing them to help sell your game as well.
well,
So the more information you give to media, the better it is.
yeah, well, I look at it like the press kit should basically be what I want the journalists to go and print or go and whatever they're going to do, whatever I want them to show, I'm giving them that information. Because how can they're not going to do their job of going around and like recording heaps of video and stuff like that. And some of them will, some of them won't. You know, some of them just
Yeah, that's why I pulled a
yeah,
face because I was
I
like,
knew but there's a lot that will just go, I want to fill a spot. I like that look of that game. I need some information. Give me the information to throw into that, you know? And and basically, like, there's a lot of websites out there too that just throw the information you've given them straight onto their website without even doing anything else. Like, it's
that's
just,
oh,
yeah, it is. It's a
they should be
thing.
doing that.
But they do. So, like, if
No,
you've
I
got,
copyright all my stuff. I read it and then I regurgitate it in a fancier manner.
yeah, but you're a good person, a good
I
journalist.
thought you was going to say, yeah, but
The
you're nuts.
world's greatest journalist.
No.
Indie journalist. I've already said that at the start of the show. Where some of these people are just trying to fill content holes on their website or whatever. And so they just pick that information, throw it in there, throw the pictures in there. At the same
And
time,
the thing is, if you
you've
don't have a
written
press
all,
kit,
yeah,
a lot of people will try and get the information in other ways. And they'll end up with incomplete information, and often they'll end up having to fill the holes themselves, and that could be inaccurate simply because they did not have enough information.
yeah,
The easier you make it for the journalist, the better they can sell your game.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what I seriously think that the press kit is like the Steam page is for consumers, the press kit is for the journalists to help the consumers to decide if they want to play that game or buy that game or not.
I agree.
And don't worry if you don't know what a press kit is because you know what?
Google it.
I've heard that some video game courses. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name for it then. Some video game courses don't tell you anything about a press kit. I had no idea what a press kit was until I started doing freelance journalism. And I did a video games course, and they never mentioned it because they don't. Well, let's be honest, the people that are doing that, they don't really do that. They don't have press kits. They're usually more about making the games, not about selling the games. And now with indies, a lot of the time you have to do all that. You have to just make the game, you have to sell the game, unless you hire someone to do it for you, but then that's a bigger
More money.
cost and
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree. I'm surprised that you waited to the end to bring up press kits. So it's literally you tell me about it every day. oh, this indie dev doesn't have a press kit. Why doesn't I'm there like,
Or they don't have an email. Oh my god.
yeah,
I
well,
have contacted people on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and
Discord.
there was one Discord. There was one I went to their LinkedIn to find their website to then contact them through their website. Just
Mm.
it's a bit insane.
Oh, I
And make it so that
but I was actually you bring up an interesting point there. The strangest thing that I've kind of noticed in, and this is only like a new revelation to me, is
mm,
that LinkedIn is actually a good place to be on if you're an indie dev, because a lot of journalists and stuff will actually use LinkedIn to find you or your game, and like you don't have to be like posting there every day like
yeah,
you're
you don't have
doing,
to be posting much.
but you
As
need to
long
be
as
on
essentially
there.
you just want you just want a way for journalists to contact you. If a journalist is interested in your game and they want to know more about it, they're going to send you an email, or they're going to message you on Twitter, or they're going to message you on Facebook or something and be like, I'm interested in this game, I want to talk about it, can you tell me more? And if they get no response, they're just going to go, oh well, and move on.
Okay,
I'm
but
just very, very tenacious.
yeah, you're too nice. The world's greatest journalism. Um, but yeah,
And it's going to buy me a badge that says world's greatest indie journalist, and I'm going to just throw it back at him.
I'm gonna actually I should get a sticker with that or a T-shirt for you. One of those hats with the little thing that like the business card that comes out of the hat that the old
Oh,
journalists.
like the
Yeah,
old journalist used to wear?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see you going around with
Oh,
that this year.
I was just thinking that'd make it so much easier to get the business cards out than getting them out my bag. Just,
Yeah.
there you go. Not that I should need them as much this year because I've pre pre contact preemptively contacted all the indie people as best as I can.
Mm, but yeah. Um, I don't think there's not much more to talk about. Like if there's, I think
No,
if
no.
you've
I think
got, yeah, if you've got all these things, have fun, all that. Just it's all gonna, there's something's gonna go wrong, guaranteed. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Just do something
I think it
else.
just think about using booth space wisely. Make sure you've got food and drink
Hmm.
because you'll be surprised at how busy it can get, especially on Saturdays.
Hmm.
Know your spiel.
Hmm.
Prepare for technical difficulties because
Bring
they
extra
can and they will
wires.
happen.
Bring extra
Bring extra
wires.
wires.
Yeah.
Bring a spare monitor if you can,
Wait,
because you never
we're
know
indie
if even if
devs.
I said if you can,
We've only got one monitor. That's it. Like, yeah.
if you've got more than one developer, you can bring two monitors because you'll have two indie developer monitors you can borrow.
They're both sharing the same monitor. They just one sleeps, the other one does the work. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. They take 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Um, business cards or giveaways
Mm. I've got I've
is
got a
another
giveaway
thing.
for this year, but I'll tell it like another day.
Yeah, that's all right. And press kits. So those are probably the six main points that you want to for packs, and it's the same points but for different reasons depending on what side of the booth you're on.
So, what you confused me with that?
Because you want to attract people to the booth, right?
Hmm.
So that they play your game.
Yes.
People want to be attracted to the booth. If they see a booth that looks boring, they'll keep going. If the cards aren't great, they won't retain your game. You want them to be good because, again, you want to attract people to your game. People will be attracted if they see. That's what I'm saying because I'm on the other side of the booth as a consumer.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As a dev, it's different to if you're a
Yeah.
consumer, is what I'm
Well,
saying.
I suppose that's the last and final point. Look at your booth as if you're. If would you want to go to that booth? Would you want to like go to that booth, or do you want to go to the one next door? Like, where do you want to
You
be?
see the fairy lights and go, ooh, shiny, and go over to that one because lights.
Do you see the guy with the blue hair? Do you go to him?
Mm.
Yes. Always
Do
yes.
you see one that has comfortable chairs and you go, hell yes, I want to go over there?
Oh, PAX won't let you do that. They won't give
Which is
you.
a pity because
Yeah,
that's
you know
actually
that would be a
how I
draw.
ended up. Yeah, that's how I ended up discovering Ashen because I was waiting for Donut County and there was no seats left for Donut County, so we played Ashen because there were seats there.
Yeah.
And then I ended up playing the game later because I really enjoyed it. I ended up getting both games actually.
No, but I would put beanbags all around my booth if I was allowed. You're not allowed to do anything on the floor around your booth. I would just put, and everyone would be just there like, oh yes, we can just chill here, and it would take up all the space.
That's essentially the one of the biggest draw cards in PAX is that because there's such a lack of seating most of the time, booths will just in the other area will just pull out seating and be like, look, there's seats here, and everyone's like, oh god, yeah, I'm gonna sit here because there's seats. I remember one year I just sat on these comfy seats for I can't remember what the booth was, and I was just flicking through a Splatoon 2 art book because it was there,
Oh,
but I just
I just remembered something talking about this. There's actually a indie developers lounge to go to, and I did not even know this last year.
there's also a media lounge that
Mm-hmm.
the influencers are not allowed in, which I think is I'm not sure why
Because
they get
the Twitch
they get
lounge.
the exact same. Oh, they get no because people that are coming on the influencer badge get the exact same privileges as media, except for the media room.
Oh, is there an influencer
Yeah,
room?
no.
Oh,
But apparently, the media room is so hidden that most of the people that have been going for years as media have never actually been there, myself included. I knew it existed, but I was
yeah.
like, I don't
I'm
know where it
I'm
is.
down to find this room. I like. There's some room apparently that you can go to, and I'm going to find this room. And yeah, I don't know where they get to
So we're
it.
going to go on an adventure at PAX. I need to find the
Mhm.
media room, and you need to find the indie
You
developers
sneak
lounge.
me into the media room, and I'll annoy some journalists. I'll not the ones as good as you, all the ones below you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sure, sure.
but yeah, I'll. Yeah, that'll be fun. And
I mean, you can annoy them on the panel.
yeah, that's true. I will be
At
picked
least two
on.
of them will be freelance. Oh, one will be a freelance games journalist, and the other one's former editor of Kotaku Australia.
I've
So,
already thought of what I'm going to say on the panel because it's about mobile games, and I used to make mobile games, so I'm going to blame myself for being part of this ad ad problem.
make the stupid ads though.
I think a few of them.
Okay. Well, if you see anybody else, please let us know.
I don't think they exist anymore. I may have
Yeah,
they've probably gone to the digital gods.
that's
So
all right.
yeah.
I'm probably going to have to do a disclaimer before I actually do the panel that there is a lot of sexual content in the ads.
And then everyone cheers and goes, "Whoa!"
Well, the problem is that because we're at 11 a.m., generally they like to put anything that is like that after 6, which
Yeah.
means that parents might bring kids
Have you
in. So I
told
want
have
to
you
be.
told them about this?
Yes, I have told them that it's not PG friendly.
And they were
Um,
fine with it?
yeah, I think they were very nicely. They've moved my panel to being during the day because they know that I've got to go home and look after my mum when I get back from PAX.
Mm.
That's right. It doesn't stop. I have to keep working.
Yeah. And the dog. That he
Yeah, yeah.
she'll want food. She'll be hungry.
She's going to doggy daycare. I hope she'll be completely zonked
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh
with
well,
any luck.
let's leave it on that bombshell.
All right.
I think it's we're done for this week.
Yeah,
Also if
this
this
month.
is this month, and we might be a little bit late for the next one because who knows when we can record that. But it will
I
have
mean, I'm good, but
lots
Ant is going to be doing everything.
everywhere. But yeah,
He's going to be
like
doing it. He's going to be everywhere doing everything.
well, I'll have to tell you about the Tassie game, the games at the Tassie Game Show, the indie games at PAX, and the indie games at Singapore. So that could
I
be a
don't think you'll have to tell me about the ones at PAX. I'm already aware of them.
yeah, but I'll tell you the ones that I liked, which was only really one
Oh,
game,
okay, fair enough.
only really one game that I could think of. That yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gotten to the point where I've looked at so many indie games and I know so much about so many of the indie games that it all just sounds like static in my brain. And it keeps saying, "What indie games do you like from the PAX Rising Showcase?" And my brain just goes, "Shh."
Nope, you did nothing. Yeah. Okay. Talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Bye.